Let's go down to Jerome's. So a lot of stuff and things and stuff went down last night. First round NFL draft is in the books, and it started out thinking that it was going to be crazy. You know, the Browns trading with the Jaguars, Jacksonville giving the Cleveland their first round pick next year, which is kind of dicey because I think the Jaguars might be ass. Thank you this upcoming year, but they got a superstar in Travis Hunter. TBD how many ways he's going to play. I don't know. All that stuff. But when the night kicked off with that, you're thinking, okay, there's going to be 17 billion trades. Not really. Not really. Ended up being 4 trades. I mean, well, the last trade between the Eagles and the Chiefs, whatever, right? But overall, like, there were some surprises. A couple notable names went higher than people expected, and a lot of very significant players fell out of the first round, which we'll get to at the end. But Cam Ward won, Tennessee, yes. You know, Cam Ward saying, hey, who's the best receivers in the National Football League? Well, A.J. Brown is good, but he's no Calvin Ridley. Also, 2 of the best 5 running backs are Tajay Sharp and Tony Pollard. Okay. But Cam Ward, I mean, God bless him. Best of luck. Will Levis probably available. I don't know. Number 2, Travis Hunter to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duval, I love it. Frankly, I think that it could work out great. Did the Jaguars give up a lot going from 5 to 2? Yes, they did. Giants getting Abdul Carter. Also, a little bit later on, the trade up for a quarterback, Jackson Dart, which I think it's smart because Carter would have been stupid to pass on. But also, like, this regime needs to gamble a little bit and try and get back into things. I mean, Russ is not the answer. Jameis not the answer. Jackson Dart could be the answer. It's interesting that he's quarterback too. Will Campbell, the Patriots ain't scared about the short arms. Left tackle of the future. Mason Graham. So the Browns, again, you know, trading down with the Jaguars, getting back a high second-round pick at 36, a fourth-round pick, 126, and a future first, giving up a fourth and a sixth. I mean, it's smart. It's smart. Mason Graham is going to be a beast on that D-line for Stefanski and company. Ashton Jeanty, 6 to the Raiders. Ay, Dios mío. Thank you for not letting Ashton Jeanty get to the Bears. Armand Mamboom, he and Fashanu, like, they're going to be great bookend tackles as they protect Justin Fields. Tet, so the Panthers, you know, reportedly had some calls to trade down, except, yeah, they're going to get their guy. So, Tedora McMillan, a huge catch radius. He really is a pterodactyl out there. I think that he's going to be a true blue wide receiver 1 for Bryce Young and company. Calvin Banks at 9. So, this is an inflection point. This could have been Shedeur Sanders, but the Saints were like, no. And as we said before, it was very weird that the draft community was down on Calvin Banks. For me, I think he was up there with Will Campbell and Membu as the best tackle in this class. And Banks, 3-year starter at Texas, true junior, and, you know, just turned 21. I think that he has a chance to be a really special player. So Calvin Banks, a left tackle. Last year's pick, Talisa Fuaga at right tackle. So the Saints will have nice bookend tackles for Arch Manning next year. It'll be good. Colson Loveland, because why not? I mean, Cole Kmet has like $30 million left on his contract, but all right. So Loveland is a stud, but the Bears have 75,000 tight ends. Yeah. Also, Michael Williams. The Niners had their card in like this. So obviously they're in on the edge rusher from Georgia. Booker. So all the friends of J.J. McCarthy and drafted high. Loveland, obviously teammates at Michigan. Tyler Booker, high school teammates at IMG. But Booker, I was told reliably that Tyler Booker wasn't a first-round talent. Yeah. And yeah, the Cowboys, for all their faults, have been very good at drafting offensive linemen high. And Booker, he's just a basher, man. He's fantastic. Kenneth Grant goes to the Dolphins. They never really replaced Christian Wilkins, but now they do. Grant's upside is unlimited. Tyler Warren. So it's interesting. So we have talked that Loveland was drafted above Warren. Consensus was Warren, Loveland. And we had talked about, I kind of like Loveland more than Warren. And I know that Warren is called Gronk adjacent, but I just think that Loveland has better hands, better catch rates, better after the catch, all that stuff. But, you know, Warren goes to the Colts, which is fitting since all of his comps have been Dallas Clark throughout this entire process. Juwan Walker to the Falcons. So Falcons actually double down on edge, which we'll talk about in a sec. But Walker stays in Georgia. Did Julie sign off on this? Yeah. Walter Nolan goes to Arizona. I love that pick. Like, huge upside. Him and Darius Robinson just going to wreck some fools. Shamar Stewart, you're betting on the absolute physical upside. He is a freak, and you're just trying to. The Bengals had a bit of a upheaval on their defensive interior, so they're trying to replace that. Also help with him on the edge, just all along that defensive line. They're trying to get some pressure. Gray Zabel to the Seahawks, so Seahawks fans are sort of mixed about his mustache and his political stance. I don't know. Like, that's unimportant. Can he block? Yeah, I think Gray Zabel certainly can do that. Egbuka goes to the Buccaneers. So this was a eyebrow raiser because, okay, you got Mike Evans, and you just extended Godwin, and McMillan's in that mix, but I think Egbuka is a fantastic slot receiver. Maybe it's a sign that they don't plan to re-sign Mike Evans after next year, and then just go from there. Jahdae Barron to the Broncos. So everyone on the mom had mock draft running back, maybe tight end, but running back to the Broncos. But they changed it up. Jahdae Barron, a do-it-all, cornerback, slot, safety, everything. He and Surtain are going to be a nice duo there. Derek Hammond going to the Steelers. Again, this is one of those inflection points. Could Shedeur have gone here? Everyone seemed to think so. But Derek Harmon, Harmon was the first player that I was just like, because I didn't expect Barron to be this late, but Derek Harmon, rock solid, man. And the comps between him and Cam Hayward are certainly applicable. Amari Hampton to the Chargers. So much for Najee Harris. But Hampton, just a punch you in the face running back, perfect for Jim Harbaugh. Also, all the Michigan guys were gone. Matthew Golden going to the Packers. Hey, they finally drafted a receiver. So now they have another wide receiver 3. Great. And then, of course, Donovan Jackson. He is indeed, for real, the best true guard in this class. And just power, size, anchor, diesel, everything that you want. And I know people piss him on. Well, you could have traded down and got him. Probably not, because remember, the Texans were originally at 25. Donovan Jackson's a Houston native, can play guard and tackle, and the Texans literally tore apart their offensive line this year. So Jackson would have been in at 25. Also, former teammates with C.J. Stroud. I mean, that's pretty easy to do, right? Then you got the Texans trading down with the Giants. So Kwesi talked about they had gotten trade offers. This is probably, basically the Giants probably gave the Vikings the same trade offer. Moving down from 25, the Texans got 34, second pick of the second round, as well as 99th in the third and a 2026 third round pick. So whatever. Not really too juiced about that trade compensation, but the Giants get a quarterback in Jackson Dart. He is young. He has potential. So we'll see. We'll see how the Giants ruin him. And then the Falcons trade up with the Rams. Now this one's a little bit spicy. So the Falcons got 26 and 101, and the Rams got 46. So drop it down 20 spots, a 7th rounder, and a 2026 first round pick. Which, if the wheels fall off of the Falcons, that could be a pretty tasty first round pick. So the Falcons are basically selling out, and they're addressing their position of need, edge rusher. Jelon Walker at 15, James Pierce at Tennessee at 26, a highly polarizing player for whatever reason. So I think that, I respect that the Falcons are going for it, but that seems like a lot. Especially if you look at who's still available, which we will here in a sec. There's some quality edge rushers still on the board, but 27, Malachi Starks. So Starks and Kyle Hamilton, just two safeties that the Vikings passed on. But I'm happy with Jackson. Tyleik Williams, the nose tackle from Ohio State, goes to the Lions. Tyleik also has beef with J.J. McCarthy, so that's funny. Josh Connerly, the great tackle from Oregon, is going to be protecting Jaden Daniels, which is great. Maxwell Hairston, the souped-up, speedy corner from Kentucky, he goes out to Baltimore. And then the last trade up, so I feel like the Eagles didn't even need to do this. They just wanted to rub it in the Chiefs' face. It's funny, but they trade up one spot for like a 5th-round pick to get Hadi Campbell, great off-ball linebacker who can blitz, just another great body for the stupid Eagles. And then Josh Simmons from Ohio State, who Donovan Jackson replaced at left tackle after Simmons went down with a patella injury. He ends up going to be protecting Patrick Mahomes. So that's a great first round, but of course it's always about who didn't get in. So Will Johnson's knee must be just cooked. All right, so that's a major concern. Schefter tweeted that out as Johnson was in free fall. It's surprising. It's really surprising because Johnson worked out at his personal pro day, and everything seemed to be fine. Like, reports were he was moving fine, but there must be some major concerns about that knee. And this is what happens sometimes when a named player expected to be drafted high suddenly takes a tumble. Sometimes, actually, usually it's undisclosed medical thing, and then eventually that gets reported out. Mike Green from Marshall, a little bit undersized, also some off-field stuff. He is taking a bit of a draft tumble. Nick Emenwari, super freak safety. He's out there. Donovan's there. Darius Alexander, Trevon Henderson, Siobhan Ravel, and obviously Shedeur Sanders. I think he'll go in round 2 at some point. I don't think that he'll be drafted as the future. He'll be drafted to compete. Arroyo, Trey Amos, Mason Taylor is in that mix. Jared Wilson, LB3, Luther Burden III. A lot of people think that he's super underrated in the slot. Ariante Ursary from the Gophers, TJ Sanders, Jordan Birch, Judkins, Jonas Savania, who's a top 30 visit with the Vikings. You probably cross that off, though. So the Vikings had Marcus Bowe from Purdue, Savania from Arizona, and Ursary from Ariante Grande, Ursary from the Gophers. You could probably cross that off after the selection of Donovan Jackson, but still some very talented players still available on this board. All right, so Jack Betch. Stop trying to make Betch happen. Tyler Shuck, Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson's a stud, man. I love Caleb Johnson. I don't care. Omar Norman Lott, Xavier for Watts, Fredo Collins, Tate Ratledge, stud, monster, Jalen Lane. Jalen Moreau. There's going to be Scattaboo. God, there's some really talented players. Joshua Farmer, Vikings did some work on. There's some very talented players that are still going to be on board. And as we said, like day 2 is the meat of this draft. But why are we signing in? HelloFresh? Why am I signing up for HelloFresh? Don't need this. Anyways, that's it. First round recap. Sorry, we're tired. We're a little bit punchy. Take a look back at day 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.